What's up guys, my name is ESO and welcome to the channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to get a unique legendary Chinese officer sword named General Chao's Revenge. This weapon is one of the most versatile, guaranteed melee weapons that you can get and is especially useful to get at the start of the game. In my opinion, it's a real hidden gem that a lot of people don't make full use of. I'll show you how to make full use of this weapon in a moment, but first let me show you how to find it. So you must come here on the map, southeast from Sanctuary to the Drumlin Diner. On your approach, you will witness an argument between the Wolf Gang, they're basically drug dealers, and then also Trudy, a merchant with a chem-addicted son. There are 3 ways to solve this quest, but depending on your speech skill, the best possible method is to ask about what's going on and then just keep asking for money. Depending on your speech skill, you can get between 100 and 200 caps for doing this. So when you're done talking to the Wolf Gang, you can then convince Trudy to pay the Wolf Gang, or you can just threaten her. Either option will result in a positive outcome and you will keep both Trudy as a merchant and the Wolf Gang who sells you chems. Alternatively, you can side with Trudy. You can ask her to pay you and then just kill the Wolf Gang. But it's very important that Trudy survive, because she is the only one that sells the unique Chinese officer sword. If Trudy does die, you'll never be able to obtain the unique weapon, as you cannot loot it from her body. So ideally, you want to go with the first method I showed you, because that maximizes the amount of caps you get, and then you can buy the weapon. Sure. Now the weapon itself costs you about 1000 caps, depending on your speech skill. But don't worry, this is very easy to get. Just head back over to Sanctuary, you've probably heard of it. Once you're here, come over to the houses. If we walk along the back of these houses, you can actually find a hidden shelter. Clearly somebody was preparing for the apocalypse here, so just head on inside. So now we're just going to thief absolutely everything in here. Now there are a few bits and bobs such as caps and things that we can sell, but the most important thing are these gold bars here, and there are actually 3 of them. So if we take all 3 of those, and then if I look at my inventory, the gold bar is worth 450 caps each. So that's already taken us up to about 1000 caps there pretty easily, depending on your speech skill. And if we just unlock this novice safe here, of course it is me trying to unlock it, so it might take a little while. But there's even more stuff that we can steal from this, including this silver table knife, which is going to sell for 1,000,000 caps. Make sure you take the drugs as well, that's always valuable, and the pre-war money. And you can also take the food as well, but let's head outside, because now we're going to go somewhere else. So from the root cellar, come over here and we can travel up this log here. And there is another stash on the rooftop, full of a few useful things we can sell. Next place to go is over the bridge to the robotics disposal ground. So head over there. Once you arrive at the robotics disposal ground, look to your right and you will find a mini nuke, which you can usually pick up. Sometimes you have to punch it and then you can pick it up. There we go. And you'll also find a fat man, which is something else we're also going to sell. Make sure you also loot this crate full of stuff as well though. But you'll find a fat man nestled around these cars here, so make sure you grab that as well. And don't worry if you're worried about the fact that you're going to sell that fat man, because I've got plenty of locations you can get them, and you can find where to do that in the description of this video. So when you're done, just go back to the diner and speak to Trudy. You can now sell her your gold, and if your speech skill is still quite low and that's not enough caps, you can sell the mini nuke and the fat man itself. And then you can just buy the weapon and even get some caps back for yourself. Now let's talk about how we can upgrade the weapon. Obviously this blade has some unique effects that makes it both super effective against humans and robots, so both enemy types within the game. And considering most melee weapons do nothing versus robots, especially early on it's quite difficult for a melee character, this really helps you out as soon as you start Fallout 4. So when we first get this weapon, it has a base damage of 40, and then you can also upgrade it yourself with the electrified serrated blade. Now what this does is add energy damage to the weapon, for a total base damage of 55. The blade is also serrated, This means that it's very effective against humans and super mutants and anything like that. It makes them bleed for additional damage. The bleed effect also stacks with each hit. You may also want to get the perk Big Leagues. At rank 5 of the perk, your melee weapons will do double damage. This will make the weapon do a total of 115 damage. But if we look at the legendary effect of the weapon, Troubleshooter, which makes the weapon do an additional 50% damage to robotic enemies. So the weapon will actually do a total of 215 damage to robots, which is ridiculous. That's twice as powerful as a super sledge versus robots. So clearly this is a pretty versatile and very underrated weapon that is in fact very useful and also quite accessible early on too. Anyway guys, I do hope you found this strategy guide helpful. If you did, please give the video a like to support the channel. For more tips and tricks in Fallout, make sure you check out the description below where I've got a whole playlist on where to find all the unique weapons and how to use them in the game. And of course you can also subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with my weekly Fallout video guide so you never miss one. Thank you again for watching guys, my name is ESO and I will see you loyal subscriber in the next Fallout 4 video guide. Have a fantastic day and goodbye.